if you are still spending gems the same way you did in 2025, you are already wasting them. In 2026, the gem meta has completely changed. Forge of Light, Teleportation, Scrolls, daily refresh of Merit Store, and so on, right? In this video, we're gonna discuss every single changes and the priorities for free-to-play and pay-to-pay players, because gems are one of the most important and crucial parts and currencies in Call of Dragons, and understanding when and where to spend those gems are one of the most mandatory things which every single free-to-play player and pay-to-pay player should know, right? Let's start from the beginning, right? We always remember that there is some most important aspects which we have to spend gems on in order for us to start our account in a correct way, right? One of them are, of course, getting your VIP on level 8 in order for us to get second research queue permanently unlocked, right? This will allow you to research two researches at the same time. Basically, you are increasing your research time by 2x, right? We will be able to do it twice in a same time. So this is the one of the most important ways still till this day to make your VIP store level 8. Plus, you are getting daily legendary hero tokens. Right now, it got changed. It's a universal tokens. In 2025, it was a chosen hero tokens, and obviously having legendary universal hero tokens are more valuable than directly for one hero, right? And yeah, this is the two things. So, and plus we are getting research speed 10%. These three aspects which we are getting from the level 8 VIP store is one of the most important ways to spend gems for free-to-play players and pay-to-pay players. And of course, we also have one more economy thing in the game where we have to spend some gems. I believe when you start the game, you have only one building queues, same as research, but here, if you are going to spend 5k gems, you are basically unlocking the second building queue permanently, right? It will increase your building construction speed twice as much as it was in 2025 or even like before, right? Basically, one building queue is worse than second building queue. So 5k gems here. This is the second most important gem spending ways in Call of Dragons still in 2026, right? And yeah, this is the two economy ways you can spend gems. And in 2026, we have some huge updates regarding the Forge of Light event. Unfortunately, I don't have Forge of Light event right now in the game, but we all know that you need to have 2000 draws in Forge of Light in order for you to even unlock the Exemplar Wish artifact feature, right? Which is one of the end game features of the game, and without having Exemplar Wish unlocked, it will be hard for you to actually compete in end game PvP open field, right? So basically, in the past, in 2025, 2024, for free-to-play players, it was not really mandatory to actually spend gems on Forge of Light. You could easily save some forged keys and slowly try your luck with like once in a KVK, right? And of course, that was the meta. That's why everybody was telling you guys that Universal Artifact Compendium at the end of the KVK is the way you can actually unlock your important artifacts, right? But after Exemplar Wish got introduced, then it's basically mandatory to have 2000 draws in Forge of Light right now, even for free-to-play players, pay-to-pay players. I think you kinda have to spend gems in Forge of Light, because without that, unfortunately, we are not getting any Exemplar Wish artifacts. So those are basically the red artifacts, which are even better than legendary artifacts, right? Yes, so far as you can see, for me in Forge of Light and Riches of the Forest, I have only done 726 draws, which is not even close to being 2000, right? I just started using gems in 2026 for Forge of Light, because without that, it will take too much time for me to get to 2k Forge of Light draws, right? So this is the biggest change in the gem spending guides for 2026, because this was not the case in 2025 or 2024. Of course, some pay-to-play players will still try their luck in Forge of Light, but in most of the cases, for free-to-play players, I believe that Forge of Light was not the necessity. But yeah, if you want to be strong in endgame, you have to spend your gems in Forge of Light, right? Yet that's basically the most important change in 2026 for spending gems in the game, and there is one more addition to the game, which is decoration, right? Decorations and spending gems in Call of Dragons are basically connected in a daily basis, and let me explain you why, right? Here we have legendary decorations, we have epic decorations, right? Of course, increasing levels on legendary decorations is really hard, and it's a little bit easier to upgrade levels on your epic decorations by spending gems, right? And for me to explain it more correctly, we have to go to the merit store and we can check the merit store rewards which you are getting for your hard-working PvP open field gameplay, right? On a daily basis, you have epic, random epic decoration chest. So basically, every single day you should buy this decoration chest, and every single day you should refresh these decoration daily refresh, which is cost 100 gems, right? Before, it was not really necessary for a free-to-play players to actually refresh daily supplies for Merit Store, but after this addition to these daily supplies, I believe refreshing the Merit Store, daily Merit Store on a daily basis is the most important thing if you want to have high levels on your epic decorations, and especially for free-to-play players, I believe this should be your one of the biggest priorities in the game, which will give you a lot of strengths and a lot of ability to increase attack in open field PvP. And of course, you always want to go with the trends, and the trend is that decorations is the newest feature of the game, and everybody should try to make their levels on decorations as fast and highest as possible, right? Here, yet again, on a weekly supply merit store, I know that we had, like in before, even in 2025, in 2024, everybody was basically refreshing weekly supplies, but dailies wasn't the case for free-to-play players. I hope after watching this video, you will see the importance of daily refresh, and I will show you my epic decoration levels. We go to level 5 on the sword sculpture, we go to the wolf sculpture level 5, and the oval we have level 5. So basically, slowly I'm increasing the levels of the decorations by the help of the merit store, right? So basically, this is another way where you should spend your gems, and it will be wise, right? That's basically the 2026 ways of spending gems in Call of Dragons, right? Of course, you might ask, alright, George, before we were spending gems in with the Universal Artifact Compendiums, what about now, right? Universal Artifact Compendiums, which are these ones, Anointed, Conqueror, Enduring, it got big upgrade. You are basically, at the end of the KVK, you are choosing the couple of artifacts you want to have in your compendium. Like for Conqueror, 4 desired artifacts can be added to the compendium. For the Anointed, 2 desired artifacts, and for Enduring, 6, right? Before, you could spend only 30k gems, and it was guaranteed for you to unlock 2 legendary artifacts. Now it got changed. Now you can use Yiggdra crystals in order for you to open the compendium at the end of the KVK, depending how your KVK went, right? So yeah, you have a choice here. Before we hadn't have a choice. only option was 30k gems. Here, maybe you already have all of your warped skills which you want to have. Why not spend Ember keys instead of gems, and you're gonna put your gems towards the daily refreshes, towards the Forge of Light events, in order for you to unlock exemplar wish artifacts, right? So basically, another way how we can save gems and spend in a different ways if possible, and of course, if you don't want to have any warped skills for the Ember Store, that's also really important, right? This feature will save you gems, but in my opinion, right now I still want to have the advanced Northwind. I still want to have more advanced chain strikes, and that's why I'm not really planning to spend Yiggdra crystals on the Ember key chest. I might even go for 30k gems because I still believe it's still a pretty valuable event. There is not a single event which is going to give you 2 legendary guaranteed artifacts for only 30k gems, which is important to know, right? In 2026, we also have more features of the game where we are spending some gems, and it's connected to the warpeds, right? We have a new feature which is Warped Auction House. There is some rules, so which warpeds can be put in auction house. Should be legendary warpeds, should have 8 skill slots, and at least 3 S tier attributes, right? But there is one catch. In order for us to put the warped in the auction house, we have to spend 100 gems, right? Basically, this is the way of spending gems if you have the correct warped, which will be able to sell, and this is the way where you can actually spend some gems in the game, and plus by spending some gems you will be able to generate some more gems if somebody else is actually going to purchase your warped, right? The maximum amount of time which you can put your warped is 2 days. After 2 days it will be removed, and you will have to spend 100 gems again in order for you to put the warped for the sale for your account. So another way how you can actually spend gems in Call of Dragons, which was not really the case in 2024 and most of the 2025, right? In the end, of course, it was introduced to the game, and I know a lot of people made a lot of gems by selling those pets, right? Since we spoke the ways how we should spend gems in the game, we always have to remember that in order for us to increase the construction levels from 24 to 25, we have to spend 2,000 gems in order for us to be able to increase last level on our buildings, right? There is a couple of mandatory buildings which we have to increase from 24 to 25, and that will be the most valuable ways of spending gems in the game. One of them are, of course, the Wild Hall, the City Hall. From 24 to 25, you have to spend 2k gems for the blueprint. Every single hospital should be 25 level, because not only they will increase the elixir production speed, but they also increasing HP bonuses for your army, right? The more ways where we can spend gems on buildings are, of course, the army recruitment. The last levels are important. The last levels also increase the percentages of the buffs, and also you will be able to recruit more armies in your account than in 24 level. Of course, the Seer of Council, which is research building, the last level is giving you pretty high amount of research speed bonus, and the last level requires the blueprint, which costs 2,000 gems, right? And of course we should have mentioned the blueprints cost, because that's gonna be always, no matter which year it is, it will be one of the most valuable ways of spending gems in the game, because you are not only increasing your power, you are getting more stats, you are upgrading your city, and you are making your account stronger and stronger, right? Of course, we have to speak about Lucky Spins event. Lucky Spins events also got changed in terms of custom ways of choosing heroes. There is a pattern together. Infantry and cavalry legendary hero lucky spins came out together. Like for example, right now you can see we have newest cavalry hero Agnar. But if you're gonna check the heroes which are available from the custom reel, there is only like infantry heroes and cavalry heroes, right? There is also another lucky spins which will happen the next time, which will be only for the mages and only for the archer heroes, right? So choose the which troop type main you are and spin the lucky spins in a way, right? Of course, we should never forget that we have the extra rewards like 10 draws gonna give us 5 tokens of chosen hero. Here we are for 25 we are getting 5 universal tokens. So still I believe that lucky spins is the way, even for free-to-play players, for pay-to-pay players, to increase the levels of their heroes, skill levels of the heroes, and in general upgrade them. And I believe it was important for in 2025, and it will be important for in 2026, even for free-to-play and pay-to-pay players. There is also the event which is Grimoire Wish. You can use the gems in this event, but pretty limited amount. And from my own perspective, I have only bought this 50% 500 gem spin. I have only done one spin and that's it, right? If I will want to do another, I will have to buy 2k gems, which I believe for free-to-play players the cost is too much. That's why I will only be trying the one draw and that's it, right? If you are pay-to-pay player, of course you are going to try your best in this event, because actually rewards are pretty fine, but of course it depends how much gems you have actually spent in this event and what you actually got, which is pretty big, random, and I generally don't like to spend gems in random things which you are not getting anything back in return, right? So yeah, I believe 2026 gem spending guide was really important for all the players, for beginners, for veteran players, and hopefully after watching this guide it will be way easier for you to spend those gems without thinking too much, right? As always, if you like the video, press like, subscribe, share. It always gives me more and more motivation to make more content for this game. I wish everybody an amazing day, morning and night. We are going to see each other really soon. Bye bye and good luck.